Full House taught us that everywhere you look, there's a heart and a hand to hold onto for 8 incredible seasons. What happened to the cast after the final episode aired is more surprising than any very special episode, and from billion-dollar empires to prison sentences, from deadly cancer battles to marriages imploding in scandal, here's where they ended up in 2026. Number 1. John Stamos. John Stamos played Uncle Jesse Katsopoulos from 1987 to 1995. He was 24 years old when he became every woman's fantasy as the motorcycle-riding, Elvis-loving Uncle Jesse, appearing in all 192 episodes and delivering the iconic catchphrase, "Have mercy." In 2026, John is 62 years old and might be the only Full House cast member whose life turned out exactly as you'd expect. The show ended, and he immediately landed the role of Dr. Tony Gates on ER, where he stayed until the series finale in 2009. He executive produced and reprised his role as Uncle Jesse in Netflix's Fuller House from 2016 to 2020, and he's currently starring in Big Shot on Disney+, while recently being cast in Season 2 of Netflix's The Hunting Wives. Here's what most people don't know about John. He's been a rock for his Full House family during their darkest moments, and when Dave Coulier was battling cancer, John flew to Michigan, showed up wearing a bald cap, and made Dave laugh so hard he dropped to the floor. When Lori Loughlin's marriage fell apart, John went on a podcast and called her husband a narcissist, publicly defending her and saying he knows she didn't have much to do with the college scandal. His marriage to supermodel Rebecca Romijn lasted from 1998 to 2005. Actress Caitlin McHugh became his wife in 2018, and they have one son named Billy. His connection to the Beach Boys goes back to 1985, and he still performs with them regularly on drums. Uncle Jesse was the cool uncle everyone wanted, and John Stamos has proven that you can build a 4-decade career on talent, charm, and being there when your TV family needs you most. Number 2, Dave Coulier. Dave Coulier played Joey Gladstone from 1987 to 1995. 28 years old when he started making audiences laugh as the goofy comedian who moved into the Tanner house, Dave appeared in all 192 episodes and delivered his iconic "cut it out" hand gesture. In 2026, Dave is 66 years old, and what he's been through in the last 2 years will absolutely shock you. Fall 2024 brought a stage 3 non-Hodgkin lymphoma diagnosis, grueling chemotherapy followed, his hair fell out, and in early 2025, he announced he was cancer-free. His fans celebrated, his castmates breathed a sigh of relief, and it seemed like the nightmare was over. And that's when a routine 6-month checkup changed everything. A flare-up doctors initially thought was related to the lymphoma turned out to be something completely separate, an HPV-related tongue cancer that had nothing to do with the first diagnosis. Dave had beaten cancer once, only to hear those words again months later. Here's where it gets incredible. February 2026, Good Morning America, and Dave announced he is now in complete remission from both cancers. Early detection saved his life twice, and his message to TMZ was clear. Early detection is everything. Talk to your doctors, get those PET scans, get those MRIs, get those CT scans because it can save your life. I'm living proof of that. His wife, Melissa, whom he married in 2014, stood by his side through everything. John Stamos flew to Michigan to visit, showed up in that bald cap, and even caught COVID while staying with them, which meant the two of them ended up sitting in the hallway, talking to each other with walkie-talkies like two fifth-graders. A fun connection that ties the Full House family together. Dave introduced Candace Cameron to her future husband, hockey player Valeri Bure, at a charity hockey game in 1994. Joey Gladstone made us laugh with silly voices and Popeye impressions, and Dave Coulier has shown us what real courage and survival look like. Number 3, Candace Cameron Bure. Candace Cameron Bure played DJ Tanner from 1987 to 1995. Just 10 years old when she became the eldest Tanner daughter, Candace appeared in all 192 episodes and grew up entirely on camera. Her brother is Kirk Cameron from Growing Pains. In 2026, Candace is 49 years old and has become one of the most controversial figures from the Full House cast, and depending on who you ask, she's either a hero standing up for her beliefs or someone who's alienated half her fan base. The show ended and Candace married NHL hockey player Valeri Bure in 1996, introduced by Dave Coulier at a charity hockey game. 3 children followed: Natasha, Lev, and Maxime. Dancing with the Stars came in 2014, where she finished 3rd place. Hallmark Christmas movies became her kingdom, and she starred in over 30 films for the network. Here's where it gets messy. 2022 saw Candace leave Hallmark for Great American Family, where she became their chief content officer. Her words to the Wall Street Journal made headlines. Great American Family would keep traditional marriage at the core of their programming. Backlash hit immediately and hit hard. JoJo Siwa called Candace out on social media. Jodie Sweetin publicly supported Siwa by commenting, "You know I love you," on her post, and Candace responded by unfollowing Jodie, her TV sister, for over 30 years. The View brought its own drama from 2015 to 2016, where she clashed with other panelists. Defending a bakery's right not to make a wedding cake for a same-sex couple led to co-host Raven Simonet telling her, "I refuse to associate with you right now." The 2016 election came, and Candace left the show. Her combined net worth with her husband sits at approximately $14 million. The Masked Singer featured her as Cherry Blossom in 2025. DJ Tanner was the responsible big sister everyone could relate to, and Candace Cameron Bure has spent her adult life being unapologetically herself, controversy and all. Number 4, Jodie Sweetin. Jodie Sweetin played Stephanie Tanner from 1987 to 1995. 5 years old when she started playing the sassy middle child, Jodie appeared in all 192 episodes and gave us the unforgettable catchphrase, "How rude!" What happened to her after the show ended is one of the most heartbreaking child star stories you'll ever hear. In 2026, Jodie is 44 years old, and for years, her family feared she wouldn't make it this far. Full House ended in 1995, and 14-year-old Jodie started drinking. Within a few years, ecstasy, methamphetamine, and crack cocaine had taken over her life. Her 2009 memoir, Unsweetined, revealed she snorted meth at the 2004 premiere of the Olsen twins' film New York Minute, and she described giving a tearful speech at Marquette University while coming down from a 2-day meth, cocaine, and ecstasy binge. An intervention came from the Full House cast. John Stamos, Bob Saget, and others who had become her real family tried to save her, and Jodie has said she turned to drugs because she was bored after losing the only life she'd known since age 5. Here's where it turns around. Her first daughter's birth gave Jodie a reason to fight, and she got sober in December 2008, with one brief relapse in 2013. She later became a licensed drug and alcohol counselor, helping others through the same struggles she faced. 4 marriages have marked her adult life. Sean Holgan from 2002 to 2006, Cody Herpin from 2007 to 2010, Morty Coyle from 2012 to 2016, and Mescal Wasilewski since 2022. 2 daughters, Zoe and Beatrix, call her mom. Candace Cameron Bure actually served as her matron of honor at her first wedding. But no other cast member appeared in every episode of both Full House and Fuller House. January 2026 brought a San Francisco Sketchfest performance with a comedy show called Smoke Show with Jodie Sweetin, where she described her humor as more Bob Saget, less Danny Tanner. The podcast How Rude Tanneritos with Andrea Barber is her current project. Stephanie Tanner craved attention in all the wrong ways, and Jodie Sweetin survived addiction, found her voice, and uses her painful past to help others. Please drop us a like and subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks a ton. Number 5, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen shared the role of Michelle Tanner from 1987 to 1995, 9 months old when they started alternating the role of the adorable youngest Tanner. The twins appeared together in all 192 episodes and coined the catchphrase, "You got it, dude." In 2026, Mary-Kate and Ashley are 39 years old, and here's what will blow your mind. They rank among the wealthiest women in entertainment, with a combined net worth estimated between $500 million and $1 billion, despite not acting in over 20 years. 2 women who haven't been in a movie since 2004 are worth up to $1 billion. The money started flowing when they were just 9 months old, earning $2,400 per episode. By the final season of Full House, That number had climbed to $80,000 per episode. Dual Star Entertainment Group came into existence when they were 6, 10 years old, and they became the youngest self-made millionaires in American history. 21 brought a company generating $1 billion in merchandise sales annually. The twins became a global phenomenon after Full House ended, with direct-to-video movies like Passport to Paris and Holiday in the Sun. Their last film together, 2004's New York Minute, marked Ashley's complete retirement from acting. Mary-Kate took occasional roles through 2011, then she stopped too. Fuller House never got them back. Ashley explained she wouldn't feel comfortable in front of the camera after a 12-year absence. Here's where they pivoted to something bigger. The luxury fashion brand The Row launched in 2006, and it now generates $100 to $200 million in revenue annually. September 2024 brought a minority stake sale at a $1 billion valuation. Multiple CFDA fashion awards sit on their shelves, including Women's Wear Designer of the Year twice. Mary-Kate's marriage to Olivier Sarkozy, half-brother of former French President Nicolas Sarkozy, lasted from 2015 to 2021. Ashley married artist Louis Eisner. Marvel star Elizabeth Olsen is their younger sister. September 2025 brought a rare public appearance at New York Fashion Week, their first joint appearance in 3 years, and both sported brunette hair instead of their signature blonde. Michelle Tanner was everyone's favorite baby sister, and Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen walked away from Hollywood completely and built a billion-dollar fashion empire instead. Number 6, Bob Saget. Bob Saget played Danny Tanner from 1987 to 1995. 31 years old when Full House started, Bob portrayed America's favorite clean freak widowed dad trying to raise 3 daughters, serving as the moral center of the show and delivering life lessons in every episode. Here's what you need to know about Bob Saget. Danny Tanner was an act. The real Bob was famous for being one of the filthiest, most vulgar comedians in the business, and his Full House co-stars have said he told wildly inappropriate jokes between takes, while some of the kids' parents actually complained about his language on set. January 9th, 2022 took Bob from us at just 65 years old. The circumstances were as unexpected as they were devastating. His I Don't Do Negative comedy tour was in full swing. January 8th brought a show in Jacksonville, Florida, and afterward he tweeted about how much he loved the appreciative audience and that he'd done a 2-hour set. "I'm happily addicted again to this SDT," he wrote. The next day, hotel staff found him unresponsive in his room at the Ritz-Carlton Orlando, pronounced dead at the scene, blunt head trauma. The medical examiner determined. His family released a statement explaining that he accidentally hit the back of his head on something, thought nothing of it, and went to sleep. No drugs, no alcohol, an accident. America's Funniest Home Videos featured him as host from 1989 to 1997, and his voice brought future Ted Mosby to life on How I Met Your Mother for 9 seasons. Kelly Rizzo became his wife in 2018. The Full House cast released a joint statement. 35 years ago, we came together as a TV family. But we became a real family, and now we grieve as a family. Every year, on the anniversary of his death, his castmates share tributes and memories. Danny Tanner taught us that you can clean your way through grief, and Bob Saget taught us to find humor even in the darkest moments. Number 7, Lori Loughlin. Lori Loughlin played Rebecca Donaldson Katsopoulos from 1988 to 1995, 24 years old when she joined Full House in Season 2 as Uncle Jesse's love interest and eventual wife. Lori embodied elegance and class as Aunt Becky. In 2026, Lori is 61 years old, and her life has completely fallen apart in ways nobody could have predicted. March 2019 brought handcuffs. Lori and her husband, fashion designer Massimo Giannulli, were arrested in one of the biggest celebrity scandals in years after paying $500,000 in bribes to get their daughters, Olivia Jade and Isabella, into USC by falsely portraying them as crew team recruits. Neither daughter had ever rowed. Lori fought the charges at first. May 2020 brought a guilty plea to conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud. And August 2020 brought the sentence 2 months in federal prison, a $150,000 fine, and 100 hours of community service. Her husband got 5 months. The Federal Correctional Institution in Dublin, California held her, the same prison where Felicity Huffman served her 11 days. December 2020 brought release. Here's where it gets even messier. October 2025 brought separation news after nearly 28 years of marriage. Sources say their relationship never recovered from the scandal, and one insider told Us Weekly that Lori felt Massimo got her involved and that she never fully forgave him. John Stamos went on a podcast and publicly took Lori's side, calling Massimo a narcissist and saying all the negativity or hard hardships that you've been through in your life is connected to this guy. Reports also surfaced that Lori found incriminating texts on Massimo's phone, and he's since been spotted multiple times with a much younger stylist named Hannah Harrison, though she claims they're just friends. Good news arrived in December 2025. Lori will return to Hallmark's When Calls the Heart for season 14 in 2027, reprising her role as Abigail Stanton, the character she was fired from in 2019. HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm gave her a chance to parody herself on its final season in 2024. Aunt Becky was the picture-perfect wife and mother, and Lori Loughlin has lived through prison, public humiliation, and a marriage destroyed by scandal. Number 8, Andrea Barber. Andrea Barber played Kimmy Gibbler from 1987 to 1995. 11 years old when she first appeared as DJ's eccentric, smelly-footed best friend, Andrea eventually appeared in 146 episodes as the weirdo neighbor nobody could get rid of. In 2026, Andrea is 49 years old, and her post-Full House story is the opposite of every child star cautionary tale you've ever heard. The show ended, and Andrea did something almost unheard of in Hollywood. She completely walked away, no reality shows, no tell-all interviews, no desperate attempts to stay relevant. Whittier College came first, where she majored in English, then a master's degree in women's studies from the University of York in England. For over 20 years, Andrea didn't act at all. Marriage to Jeremy Ritke in 2002 brought 2 children before their 2014 divorce, and through it all, she lived a completely normal life. Fuller House changed everything. Andrea returned to play Kimmy for all 5 seasons from 2016 to 2020. Finally fulfilling the character's dream of actually living with the Tanners. Nickelodeon's That Girl, Lele, featured her as Principal Willingham from 2021 to 2024. Anxiety and depression have been part of her story, and she's become open about those struggles as a mental health advocate. The podcast How Rude Tanneritos with Jodie Sweetin is her current project, where they rewatch Full House episodes and share behind-the-scenes stories. January 2026 brought a tribute on the anniversary of Bob Saget's death that captured what the Full House family means. It's strange to live in a world where Bob's voice exists only in memory. I never imagined him being this quiet. Even in death, I hope he knows how often we talk about him here, how deeply he is loved every single day. Kimmy Gibbler was the weird neighbor everyone pretended to hate, and Andrea Barber proved you can step away from fame, build a real life, and come back entirely on your own terms. Number 9, Scott Weinger. Scott Weinger played Steve Hale from 1991 to 1995. 15 years old when he first appeared as DJ's hunky boyfriend with the bottomless appetite. Scott appeared in 30 episodes. Here's something that might blow your mind. While Scott was filming Full House, he was also the voice of Aladdin. Yes, that Aladdin, the 1992 Disney classic that became one of the highest-grossing animated films of all time. In 2026, Scott is 50 years old and has built one of the most interesting dual careers of anyone from the show. Full House ended, and Scott went to Harvard University and graduated. And unlike many child actors who leave entertainment entirely, Scott moved behind the camera. TV writing and producing became his path, with credits on shows like The Muppets, Gallivant, Black-ish, and 90210. Fuller House brought him back, where Steve finally got his happy ending and married DJ in the series finale after decades of on-again, off-again romance. A fun fact, when John Stamos and Dave Coulier competed on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in 2024 playing for charity, they both used Scott Weinger as their phone-a-friend for the $250,000 question. That $250,000 went to their charities. Kelsey Weinger became his wife in 2014, and they have 2 sons. Steve Hale just wanted to date DJ and eat sandwiches, And Scott Weinger became the voice of a Disney legend and built a successful career on both sides of the camera. Number 10, Blake and Dylan Tuomi Wilhoit. Blake and Dylan Tuomi Wilhoit played Nicky and Alex Katsopoulos from 1992 to 1995. The identical twins were just 2 years old when they were cast as Uncle Jesse and Aunt Becky's twin sons, appearing in 69 episodes together as toddlers when Full House ended. In 2026, Blake and Dylan are 35 years old, and unlike the Olsen twins, they completely vanished from public life. Dylan found a creative way to stay in entertainment without being on camera by becoming a Foley artist, the person who creates sound effects for film and television. Game of Thrones, one of the biggest shows in television history, counts among his credits. Blake also works in the entertainment industry, but stays entirely out of the spotlight. The Fuller House finale brought brief cameos from both twins. Their only return to acting in over 25 years. Their father, Jeff Tuomi Wilhoit, worked as a child actor in the 1960s, so the family understood the pressures of growing up on camera and made a choice to let their sons live normal lives. Nicky and Alex were adorable troublemakers who stole scenes, and Blake and Dylan Tuomi Wilhoit grew up to prove that walking away from fame is its own kind of success story. Full House ran for 8 seasons and 192 episodes from 1987 to 1995, becoming one of the most beloved family sitcoms in television history, and Fuller House brought most of the cast back together for 5 more seasons on Netflix from 2016 to 2020. From billion-dollar fashion empires to federal prison, from meth addiction to sobriety advocacy, from 2 separate cancer diagnoses to complete remission, from 28-year marriages to scandal-fueled divorces, lives far more dramatic than any sitcom storyline have played out for this cast. Bob Saget's loss in 2022 united them in grief, proving that their TV family truly became a real family over 35 years. They show up for each other's cancer treatments and defend each other publicly when marriages fall apart. Comebacks get celebrated and losses get mourned together. As Danny Tanner would say, the important thing is that they faced it all together. Have mercy.